Hello everyone, this is reporting from another session, bring you another Darwin talk show. With me today, it's one of the newest pro players in the scene right now, already managed to win a scrims. And without any further ado, let's meet our guest. Hey there, TehDom. I
What's
don't...
up, dude?
How are you doing?
Great, great.
Did I nail your name or not? That's the...
It's close. It's TehDom. Most people
TehDom.
pronounce it like how you did, though.
TehDom.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So, welcome to the show, and thank you for taking your time to be here.
of course.
Yeah, and how long have you been playing the Wind Project?
Since the full release, so I think like a month now.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you haven't played in the open beta or anything like that, right?
No, yeah. The
Yeah.
first time I played was the second day of the full release, I think.
Okay. So, and how did you find about the game? So,
Um, I don't even. I think I was watching. For whatever reason, I had never played Darwin before, but I was a subscriber to Her Purple because I liked his videos. And then I think one of his videos popped up in my recommended, and like I was telling you, I was an ex pro from Realm Royale, and I had been looking for a new competitive game. And as soon as I saw the gameplay and I saw like how hard he was outplaying people,
mm-hmm.
I was like, I want to do that. So downloaded it and never looked back. And now I have like almost 500 hours.
Ooh, nice. How many hours do I have? By the way, let's check it.
I mean, my hours are probably a good half of them are probably idle hours, but
Ah, okay. You win. You still have more than me, and I'm playing for the beta. I'm a potato. Okay. So you got into after lunch into game after lunch, and what is your favorite class to play so far?
definitely grapple.
The grapple?
I,
Why?
yeah, grapple is definitely like the most fun class for me to play because it's by far like the most mobile.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can get around the map a lot faster with that class than you can with the other two. I feel like jetpack is very mobile as well, but it's mobile in like a different way where they just have a lot of control over their movement, whereas the grapple more so is just like you can just get around faster.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, something about the grapple, like grappling into people and like hitting them off a cliff and then airing them out the air, like
Oh yeah,
the grapple just feels like the flashiest class for sure.
yeah, definitely. So what abilities do you use with the grapple, by the way?
Barrier and ice bolt.
Barrier and ice ball. Why so?
Barrier because it's it's probably the best ability in the game, honestly, because it's like I think it's like a 4 second or 5 second shield where you can't take any damage at all.
Mm-hmm.
So that's obviously good. If you make a mistake, you just drop that and it'll protect you from whatever damage you're about to take from that mistake you made.
Yeah.
And then as for ice bolt, I would say, especially in the sudden deaths, like that ability hitting an ice bolt on somebody can literally flip the entire game. You can drop a cage trap on them and trap them in a cage, or you can just try to freeze them.
Yeah, that's
It's just it gives you a lot more control
yeah.
in sudden death
I saw
situations.
Ari freezing someone, placing a trap under him, getting trapped with him with inside the cage, and then popping the personal shield to
Yeah,
prevent any kind of damage and just smacking them inside.
it's just swinging.
Yeah, so nice.
Very nice.
Yeah. So how does the Darwin affected your life, if it is?
Uh, well, like I was saying, I used to play like Realm professionally,
Mm-hmm.
and so I was looking for something to take the place of that game because I was getting a little bit tired of it.
Okay.
And when I came across Darwin, and I actually played for the first day, uh, I pretty much knew right then that like this game was gonna take over for me. And basically now like I don't play. I wouldn't say I play every day, but I play pretty much every day.
Okay.
And like I'm very much like this is like probably what I spend most of my time doing now is either recording Darwin content, editing Darwin content, playing, or like working on my scrim league. Like I probably spend like a good 60% of my time between those four things. So
Oh,
it's
nice.
yeah, it's been really good for me because before I've always been super into video games, but before Realm Royale was kind of the thing that was taking up a lot of my time with that.
Mm-hmm.
And since I needed to find something new, this basically like took the place of that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been great for me so far.
Oh, nice. So, what is your strategy in scrims, and what is your strategy in the public games? Is there any different?
All right, so yeah, for sure. In
Okay.
scrims, I'm running a different class for sure. I don't play grapple in scrims. I feel like it's just it's weird. In pubs, it's my favorite class to play because it's like I said, it's super mobile and you can do all these flashy plays and stuff. But in scrims, just the pure like earlier how I was saying how jetpack is like super mobile, but more so like just having control of your movement. Like that dash that jetpacks have, even after the nerf, capitalize on mistakes like way harder. That it's just like I don't think there's any class that competes with that because it has all that control, and then on top of that, you still have 225 damage arrows, and you can have Ice Bolt, which is like I was talking about, one of the best abilities to have in sudden death. So just for competitive play, I think right now jetpack is definitely the meta.
Mm-hmm.
But in pubs, I definitely prefer playing grapple over the other two classes.
Okay, just for the fun.
Yeah.
So, I mean, where do you think the game is going to? Well, yeah.
So like I said, I only started playing about a month ago, so I don't have the greatest perspective up until that point. But I have been playing a lot within the last month since the full release, and I have been actively like waiting on patch notes and following the roadmap and everything. And based on what I see like so far, I'm pretty happy. Like the patch that came out nerfing the jetpack, that was huge for us. I don't think it was like the most efficient way they could have nerfed the jetpack, but I feel like in general people are way too hard on developers because like their job's a little bit more complicated than people tend to think.
Yeah.
Like people think it's as simple as just like copying and pasting an old feature into the game, but people don't understand that like that doesn't work.
Not every time. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it's like that's too
Yeah.
old. We
Well,
cannot edit back.
exactly. Like with the leaderboards, like everybody wants them to just copy, and that's like the main thing that I think they need to really try to work on getting out. But at the same time, like it's hard because you have this leaderboard system that you have, so everybody expects you to just be able to paste it in. But clearly, there's bugs with the new leaderboard system and the new classes and all the new things that you brought into the game. So
yeah,
it's tricky for them. But I think that definitely has to be a main priority for them. But just the fact that the game's grown, like it grew 700 players in the last month, and then so far this month, 11 days in, another 200 players. Like the growth of the last 40 days is higher than the average play count for the previous year.
yeah.
So I think it's growing really fast right now, and I'm really excited about that, and I hope it continues to go the same way. And I think as long as the developers continue to, the main thing is just the developers listening to the community and doing what the community wants. And I think if they do that, they've got a really good shot at making this game big.
It's not
I
all.
haven't played any game with this type of combat.
Yeah, that's really unique for the game, but not every time listening to the community is the right call. Sometimes
No.
it's
Yeah.
the community thinks that it's right, but it's actually not good.
Yeah.
Why TehDom or TehDom or whatever you said you call yourself? I can't.
Yeah, so I pronounce it TehDom.
TehDom.
Basically, when I got my first username was on Minecraft. I was like 11 years old, and it was Dominator_Pro12, I think.
Okay.
And yeah, I basically ended up making like a Minecraft faction guild or something like that. And me and all my friends basically changed all of our names to having like Teh at the start. I'm pretty sure the whole origin of it was basically that Teh is like but like just like rearranged a little bit. I don't know. I didn't make it, so
Okay.
I was a sheep in the pack of my friends at the time. But yeah, so I basically just changed my name from Dominator Pro to TehDom, and then all of my friends changed their name to like Tepingo and Terax, and
Okay.
it was basically like a faction name.
Yeah, by the way, any one of your friends is a pro player like you, or played in the pro leagues in any other game, or no?
Nope, just me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So from a sheep you became a wolf, so that's nice.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, where can people find your content? Twitch, YouTube, anything?
Yeah, I've got a Twitch channel where I'm streaming. I don't have a schedule right now, but I try to stream on average of like 4 to 5 hours a day. I normally stream during the afternoon on the weekdays.
Okay.
That's when I like to stream. And then as for my YouTube, I don't really have an upload schedule either, but in the last 2 weeks I've uploaded like 7 videos, so that should give. I try to upload like every other day.
Okay. So 14, so yeah, 7 videos.
Yeah.
It's adding up.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in the end, do you have any tips for new players that wants to improve their gameplay in any other way?
Yeah, my biggest tip for new players that I always say, and I always blame people for this if I hear them crafting a shield early game, shields cost 5 wood, and an arrow costs 1 wood. So early game, if you have 6 wood, don't craft a shield and an arrow, please. Just craft 6 arrows. Because 6 arrows is, like, if you hit all of your arrows, you're going to kill somebody and still have arrows left over. Whereas with that shield, you get hit once and it's gone. So it's like, I think the shield definitely has value, but right now, in the current state of the game with how much it costs compared to arrows, I think a lot of new players just don't realize how important it is to make sure they have their arrows at the start of the game.
Yeah, actually the shield is now cheaper than the beta version of it.
That's crazy to me. I feel like they should still change. Like, one of the changes I've been thinking about for this game would be making arrows cost 2 wood and making shields cost 4. Because I feel like arrows are way too easy to get in the early game, because basically, if you're playing Headhunter, you can have max arrows within the first 30 seconds.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, you can have 8 wood within the first 30 seconds. Then you have to craft them still, I guess. But you can still have 8 arrows, like, pretty much in the first minute, and it's like anybody who wants to fight you. I don't care if they have a shield. I don't care if they've upgraded their abilities. If you have 8 arrows, you have the advantage right there. So it's just. I really don't think that people understand how good arrows are even now. After, like, people are starting to understand more and more.
Yeah.
People are starting to think that Headhunter's not as bad as they used to because of that, but
yeah, mobility wise it's still bad, but otherwise it's pretty good.
Yeah, the early game for getting that early wood is insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, your mid to late game is tough because you're not very mobile.
Yeah, I will definitely stop crafting armor in the early game. I will definitely stop doing that.
Yeah, whenever I'm playing, if I'm in, like, if there's still 10 players left and we're all like let's say I'm crafting my stuff and I hear somebody in the distance, I'll hear them crafting a shield and I'll literally go in voice chat and be like, man, what are you doing, man? Like, you're not gonna have any arrows. I try to help.
Oh yeah, you know, it's a game. Most people will still do those kinds of mistakes. Yeah, so before we wrap this up, who would you like to see in the next Darwin talk, by the way? If there anyone, would you like to hear his opinion or?
I would probably say this isn't a super popular person.
Okay.
But I would recommend you talk to. Do you know who Opolar is?
Opolar, the name is very familiar.
He's another Twitch streamer. He played before the full release. So he'll be able to give you a little bit more perspective as far as that goes. And he, like me, is also looking into doing like his own scrim league for people who are trying to. Because basically what we're both trying to do is, like, provide a place for people to go play when the DPL scrims aren't running, because they need a director to play. So if there's no director, you can't play. So basically what we want to do is make a place where it's a little bit more casual and it's just running, like, constantly. At least that's what I'm trying to do. I don't speak on his behalf. I'll let him talk about that. But yeah, I think he'll be able to provide a bit more perspective on, like, pre-full release, and also talk a little bit more about the competitive scene, because he's pretty knowledgeable about it.
Nice. Yeah, I think that's it.
Alright.
Yeah, thank you very much for... Wait. TehDom?
Yes, sir. There you go.
Oh yeah, I did it. I nailed it, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you very much for coming and taking your time in this small interview. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Chunky peanut! Yeah, chunky peanut! Get your chunky peanut right now. This is delicious and healthy for your kids. 20% off.